And a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world on this live stream. And welcome to the Easy Level Up Videocast Live. Hannah, you're back this week.
I am. Where are you? Hello, Tom. I'm back. This episode 19.
It is 19. You missed our 18th birthday.
I'm sorry. How did it go? Was it good? Did you have a jolly good time?
We had a very jolly good time. We had some returning faces, had Greg back on, had Bossman back on. So yeah, it was all good. But you were sorely missed, Hannah. Sorely missed.
Thank
you. So I'm very
convinced by that.
Of course, you're always missed. But Hannah, what have we got going on in the show today?
We've got a lot of things going on, Tom, but we're going to be looking at the Idea Xbox titles that were announced at Summer Game Fest, and to talk about the really cool indie games that we can talk about, and Game Pass and all the cool stuff. So I'm excited. It's a good one. But are you well, Tom?
I am very good. I had a nice restful weekend, played loads of games on my PC. I say to play loads of games on my PC. I played one game a lot on my PC.
Your gamer score, you've nearly got like 1,000 gamer score this month.
Yes. But
you've been smashing it.
That's due to one game on Xbox, which is Tell Me Why, which is an amazing new narratively based story from the guys that made Don't Nod, guys that made Life is Strange. Absolutely brilliant. And it's available on Game Pass. So go download it now, because you should have Game Pass if you haven't got Game Pass already. I also want to point out, obviously, who we've got in chat and all those bits and pieces, because it's always polite to say hello. Tashin over on Facebook, hello. Wiki Webster over on Twitch going, evening all, how's it going? Mate, it's definitely not evening. It's definitely not evening.
Oh, gosh.
It is very much the afternoon, but hey, it might be evening where you are, but I know that you're in the UK. So, who I've got Wiki Webster, as I said. Hey, DJ over on Twitch as well. Hello, mates. And Tashin again. So yeah, guys, welcome to the stream. Please get involved as we are asking questions, and I want to hear your thoughts and all those bits and pieces. We'll get you onto the screen to make sure you feel like you've been included as well, because that's what we want. But yeah, ask questions, ask away. And Hannah, you normally have some quick fire questions for us. So
I do. I need to tell you something though, Tom.
Okay, what's happening? You're not leaving, are you?
I feel very emotional today.
Why do you feel emotional?
I feel emotional because after 4 months of being I can't even talk, I'm so sad. After being in an emotional relationship with Arthur Morgan for 4 months, I finished...
Oh, no.
I finished the Red Dead Redemption 2 storyline this weekend, and now I just feel a bit broken. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very emotional today.
To be honest, I completely get what you mean. When you get drawn in, whether it's a film, TV show, game, book, whatever it is, if you are emotionally invested in that, when it finishes, you have no idea what to do with your life.
No, I know. And yeah, no spoilers, but
yeah, you can't have any spoilers because I still haven't finished the campaign. I'm like 2 or 3 chapters away from finishing.
You need to because it's just insane. But yeah, I'm just very emotional. So if anyone feels my pain, if anyone has played Red Dead Redemption 2 and feels sad, please, I need you right now.
Well, guys, let us know in chat, without any spoilers, what you thought to the ending, and can you console Hannah's emotional thoughts?
Please console me. But we have 2 people that may be able to console me. Moving swiftly
we do.
On.
What a segue! Who have we got, Hannah?
Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so the first person we have today is the groovy Jer Lynch. Another word beginning with G that I found. Groovy.
Hi,
Jer.
Hi, groovy Jer.
I can't console you.
Oh, that's okay.
I do feel your pain, though. I felt the exact same way. I finished watching Community on Netflix. Other streaming services are available. I finished watching Community, and I was like, now what? What am I supposed to do with my life? And I had the exact same feeling when I finished watching The Good Place on Netflix, but other streaming services are available. And I'm like, now what am I supposed to do with my life? So I do console with you from that perspective, Hannah. I believe Wookiee's broke, by the way. We think of a broke Wookiee.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Lie down, Wookiee, mate. You'll be okay.
Evening.
Killer Rhino, I have seen your comment, and there's a reason I haven't mentioned it yet, because we have another guest to introduce, and then I'm going to refer to your comment. So,
okay.
On that swift note, who is our fourth guest?
Well, I can't find any R words. The only two. I keep saying the same two. We just keep going.
Ravenous.
Okay, it's the Ravenous.
He's always hungry.
Ravenous.
Ravenous.
Rich King, our second guest for today. Hello. Greetings. How are you? Can you console me?
No, because I just don't care really. So yeah,
I wouldn't expect anything less though, Rich.
Sorry.
I'm about as passionate as your love for Red Dead Redemption as I am about Fable. I'm sorry.
Why? Yeah, every time is he on this, does he start wading in on Fable? What is your problem with Fable?
I'd like to be consistent.
Oh, I can't wait till you play it. You'll play it and you'll really enjoy it. I just know it.
I probably will. I reckon you'll
get merch. You'll have a hat.
Pretty good.
You'll have a Fable bag.
You will have a hat. Yeah, you'll have a satchel.
Old Victorian vintage clothing and waistcoats and stuff.
You have.
So I'm basically gonna. I'm going to put Rich on the level up stream where we play Fable. I'm going to make him play it.
Can we make him catch up, though? Can we make him play the first Fable and then don't worry about the rest of them? But play the first one.
Fables. I played the Fables. That's why I know how I feel about them, Joe. So,
that's the great thing about games is we all have our own personal preferences. We have games we don't like. We have games we like. But you should like Fable, Rich.
But you're wrong. Everyone else can have their favorite games, but in this situation, you're wrong.
I'd like to just say, if you do look at the spreadsheet where we put who's going to do what, I have entered something that says the future Fable, and then my name is next to it. Just saying. So I have already bagged that one.
Whenever that happens.
But I want to quickly refer back to Killer Rhino's comment earlier. Which was this one saying, hey, I know these two. They were on the Twitch Chat Awards reaction for Fable.
Yes, we were!
We made it! All four of us.
We've made it!
Can we ask for more money now?
Maybe.
Rich, your reaction, your face was just the same. You don't get any money.
Oh,
still image of Rich.
Right.
Cardboard cutout.
For anybody that doesn't know, Twitch did their little award ceremony about best games, best streamers, etc., etc., etc. And they were talking about announced games that are coming in the future. What was their favorite one out of all of it? And at the end of it, I think it's 3 hours and 6 minutes, is it? Or 3 hours and 26 minutes?
2 hours and 36 minutes.
2 hours and 36 minutes in. They showcase the first part of the Fable trailer, and as the reaction, it is us four
at the bottom
at the bottom of the screen, and Hannah going, "Oh no! Oh my god!"
I'm just all arms.
So yeah, we had no idea it was happening. It was actually Killer Rhino that told you, wasn't it, Hannah?
Yes,
that we were on it.
You absolute legend.
So I very much appreciate you pointing that out, and I'm gutted I missed it live. It took me like an hour to try and find it. I then didn't find it, and then you sent a message, Hannah, going, "I found the clip."
Yeah, and then I told you it was 2 minutes 36 seconds in instead of 2 hours 36 minutes.
Yep. I watched it in a car park before I went into the gym. I was like, I'm not going until I watch this. I'm not going until I find this. I have to get to that point to find this. And then when I watched it, I was like, people need to pay me more money now. I'm famous.
I'm not anyone that's just happy that we're on the big screen.
Oh, I was super happy.
Any companies out there now looking for endorsements? We're all famous, so send us stuff.
Fable merch would be good.
Hold on a second. I never thought about that. Yeah, free merch, please. Let's do this. Come on.
I'll take it.
I like trainers.
What has this turned into?
Let
me segue. I can't give you free things, but I can give you some quick fire questions, everyone.
I suppose that will have to.
It always goes so well when I'm on the stream as well.
And they're always less and less quick fire because I run out of things. It's hard. I've done all the quick fire ones. It's so hard.
I always question your questions. So.
Hey, let's do it.
Do you want to? It's the answers aren't quick fire.
Okay.
That's very true.
Oh,
I mean, it's Jer, right? So there is no straightforward
the
explanation
sass.
for anything.
Also,
shout.
Tom's questions last week were weak.
Were they?
Oh.
Well, don't worry. I'm back with the
Oh.
questions.
There
I'd
you
just
sir.
like to say hello to Barry. And
going to Nando's
Hold
again.
on. Where's my popcorn? Don't start yet.
wait. Hey,
Barry's
Barry.
here over on
Hey, Barry.
Facebook.
And Jamie's installing Red Dead Redemption 2. You're a
He is.
legend. Thank you. You can console me in 4 months' time.
I thought I was just taking too long to get through the campaign. You said 4 months. Like, well, hang on a second. I was doing okay. I think I'm back to play the game now.
Yeah, I just casually pick it up and play. But it actually comes off Game Pass today, so I have bought it because it's an amazing game. But I was trying
And you get discount by buying it because it's in
yeah,
Game Pass.
you do.
You get 20% discount.
Plug.
Yeah,
Nice.
you got it.
Nice.
You got it. Right, quick fire questions.
Quick fire questions. Okay, if you had to pick one button for the rest of your life to use, just the one, would you pick Y, X, A, or B?
Ah,
Jer,
A. Because it's the get
Rich.
stuff done button.
Rich.
I was gonna say my shirt, but let's go with X.
XL, very short, by the way.
I would also pick X because it's like the reload, and with the controller companion app and the customizing, I can just change that button to any button I want.
I'm sorry. Was Tom prepped for this question?
No, I
Funny
literally just in the down.
All right, Tom.
I would pick Y, and I'll tell you for why I would pick Y.
is that?
Why would you pick Y?
Why would I pick Y? I'll tell you for why.
That was a long way.
Because 2 reasons. One, because looting, you loot everything with Y. Secondly, Forza, when you go wrong, you press Y and you go back. So that's why I pick Y
Good
for
shout.
those reasons. If anyone else would like to
That's
tell.
right.
Reason.
Change that.
Yeah. Okay, question
Adam's
number
having
2.
his lunch. Hi, Adam. On your lunch.
Hi, Adam.
Afternoon, Adam.
Oh,
Question number
Does he
2.
Yeah.
Are you the person that tries to 100% games or not? Are you a 100%er?
Don't
Jer,
care.
Don't
No,
care.
Don't care. Don't care.
Rich, don't care.
What? No, it depends on the game. Depends on the game. I have to complete a game, but it depends on the game. If we talk about then the Tom people of the world that have to get all the achievements as well, I can't say that I 100% go after all the achievements. So
I try at 100% games and try and get all the achievements, as Rich says. It doesn't always work out. Some games it's so repetitive to try and get some of the achievements that I get really bored. I'll always try and complete this campaign of every game that I play. But yeah, I tried 100%. It doesn't always work out though.
This is why I don't care, because like the last GTA game finished on campaign, thought great. Looked at what was left. I was like, there's still 25% of this game I haven't done. How has that happened? And then spent ages trying to do it, going, no, I can't. And that happened with a Zelda game years ago. We got like 2% remaining in the game. It was like, how? How am I going to find 2% of this game to complete? So no, I don't care.
I never. Yeah, Killer Rhino's asked, do you mean 100% on achievements? So when you 100% completion of the game and you get that achievement for 100%.
yeah, so I got that Killer, and that's why I gave the answer I gave. So yeah,
it does depend. It does depend on the game, but usually I don't, because I get too stressed at those little things, like Jer said, like that one thing that you can't find, and then you have to go on the internet and try and find how to do it.
0.25%
Do not
remaining
approve
in
of it.
this game.
Okay, question number 3. Ooh. If there is a game that you've fallen in love with and it's your favorite game in the world, and then you realize that they're going to bring out a second one of that game, does it excite you more if it's a prequel or a sequel? Prequel or sequel?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
not a
I
loaded question.
I wish Fable 2 had been a prequel.
That's not the question I asked, Jer, to be honest. It's
Last time I got excited about something and I had my heart broken. No, I want a sequel. I want to know what happens next.
You want to say, know what happened before.
If a company finds itself, this is just a personal opinion. I may be wrong. I probably am. Just gonna talk. I did tell Tom I wasn't shy of an opinion. If a company brings out a prequel, I kind of feel like you weren't ready for this, were you? You didn't think the game was going to be that popular, and now you're going to have to make games before it to explain stuff that you didn't explain in the game.
Yeah. Rich.
Yes, sequels, prequels are cop-outs, man. You know what I mean? The monopolizers, and it's like, we need to make more money. Let's do a prequel. It's like, we know what happened. We heard the story. Why do we now have to live through it? make your game better. Let's keep going.
Yeah, and they retcon as well when they do that. They start retconning stuff, and you're like,
Sometimes absolutely, yeah. It's just like,
Hey, Lara.
hey, Lara.
hi, Laura.
Hi, Lara.
It's
Tinty's
me.
here today.
It's me, isn't it?
It is Tom.
Oh, it's so hard.
Tom has his answer stuck to the roof. Look.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Prepared for the question.
It's my thinking phase.
You've got 'em on cards around the room.
You always look up when you think.
Quick fire questions.
I never look up.
Oh,
Wow.
I love both
Meow.
because there's a reason behind it. So you've said it's my
We've
favorite
had that one,
ever game.
Yeah.
So if it can continue that story, then a sequel's amazing. However, if you love that game so much, it's not just like the gameplay you love, it's the lore, it's the characters, it's all of that. And that's where a prequel can explore more of that world and those characters. Like I'm looking at Gears primarily here, is they've got some amazing stories, and there's a couple of games in there that are prequels that explain what happens more. So I don't think I can kind of pick. If you're forcing me to pick, I'd probably pick sequel. But I love a good prequel.
I'd forgotten what question you were answering there.
that was constructed very well in terms of a response.
What's this about?
You know,
I am the same. So before Rich destroys me as well.
Gears. So yeah, as an example.
I prefer a prequel, and it's because for me, I love story games and I'm so invested in character arcs. And when you see characters develop, and I'm the same when I watch things on TV or watch a movie, and I just love the character development. So to know their backstory and to know the beginning of where that came from, I really love that. I get way more excited over a prequel than a sequel because a sequel usually involves death as well. Just
I find it really interesting that that two of you have picked prequels and two of you have picked two of us have picked sequels, right? And it's probably the two most impatient people on the team that have picked sequels, and probably the more relaxed two people have picked prequels. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it, the psychology of it. Joe, what do you think?
Very impatient.
Wrong way, Rich. Wrong way.
There we go.
Okay, last question. Last question.
Oh, there's 4.
Well, there's
5.
There's normally 5. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm confused. I've lost questions. If you were a game character and it's the game of your life and it's happened, it's happening, everything you dreamed, it's here. Would you like to do the motion capture and the voiceover for this character, or would you pick somebody else to do it? And if you would, who would you pick?
Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Easy. Rich.
My motion capture, his voice. All right. I just could listen to that all day.
It's just how prepared for that question Joe was.
Well, I thought she was going down a different. I thought she was going down a different line of what character would it be, and I was going, well, it's going to be one of the Mii's from the Nintendo Wii.
Yes.
That's her fault, by the way. But then I kind of just went straight into, I'd love to have Matthew McConaughey's voice come out of my head.
Of course, Adam Schofield would have Dave Grohl playing.
Of course he would.
But would it be Adam? Would it be Dave Grohl playing Adam, or would it be Adam playing Dave Grohl?
No, Dave Grohl. It would be Dave Grohl playing Destiny.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
My brain just exploded. Rich, it's your turn to answer the question.
It'd have to be me, man. So I could say that it was me, right? So, you know, I could say, especially having a son as well. And, you know, look, that's me right there. So, yeah.
This is great.
I feel like it should be me. I think that's the only. I think I agree with Rich. Like you could say, yeah, I did that. That was me. Though. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
But it looked like you.
It's meant to. It's a documentary about me.
It's not a documentary about me.
Game about me.
You're the character in the game,
right? If we're doing documentaries about ourselves, then it's Morgan Freeman doing the voiceover or David Attenborough.
That's a different question.
No one else can outtalk like I do. Hannah, what about you?
I'd do my own motion capture and voiceover, but I'd ask to do some sort of quirky accent, or just make it a little bit different so it's not exactly me. So I change it a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
You're all uninteresting. You're all uninteresting.
So, thank you so much, guys, for taking part in this week's quick fire questions.
They were deep this week.
They were, yeah.
They were
thought-provoking.
It's hard to get quick fire questions when you've done all the quick fire questions.
I can imagine, but you've done good. They're good questions this week.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Good to be back.
That's a
Killer Rhino to get Henry Cavill to do it and to be Witcher.
Hannah's changing her mind. Look at her regretting her decision now.
I definitely don't have the body for Henry Cavill to be able to do that for me.
But you would in a game.
In a game, you would.
Maybe.
You can be whatever you want to be, Tom.
We're all thinking
whoever
about
I want to be.
Let's be honest about it. When you're making avatars, the shoulders are always a bit wider. The six-pack is always a bit more defined. A lot more defined. It's there. It's visible.
Not hidden behind all this fat.
Is if someone else played me and they did a better version of me, that I would be so like,
what if you did a better version of me than me?
Exactly, you know what I mean? So, like Matthew McConaughey or whatever his name is.
Right. He would.
All right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everyone's like falls in love with the character, but no one actually likes me. So, I'm like, well, damn.
That's life, Rich, mate.
That's work, isn't it?
I mean,
that's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, isn't it?
Well, I want someone to be me and do a better job of it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Right. On the end of those quickfire questions, and before we get even deeper into the psychological effects of people playing us better than we can, no.
I have a question, Tom.
Put the pen down.
Gaming chair or sofa?
No! See, this is what happens when they're quick.
We are here for a reason. And that is to talk about the amazing platform that is the ID Xbox platform. All about independent studios making phenomenal games. But before we kind of jump into it and dive into it and talk more about it, I want to show you guys the trailer that the team at the ID Xbox team, they made for their YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of their YouTube channel, make sure you head across after the show and give those guys a follow, because there's some amazing work that they showcase there. So I'm just going to head across to that trailer now, and we'll see you after it, guys.
Duh. I just am always interested in kind of what's weird and new.
I'm pretty much in a constant quest to find rad games and rad developers.
Oh, good God. I have met the devs. I fangirled a bit.
Hey, I'm Chris Charla from the ID Xbox program at Microsoft, and welcome to our YouTube channel, which is going to feature great content from independent creators. The whole point of ID Xbox has been like helping independent developers bring their amazing games to like players all over the world via the Xbox.
You have these real passion projects. Some of them are teams of 1 or 2 people, and they've been working on something for years, and you really see their personality come through.
I think they kind of offer something that's a little bit new and vibrant and just chaotic in the best way possible.
If you're into platformers, there's a bunch of different games there you can play. If you're into shooting games, there's a bunch of shooters out there. If you're kind of a coffee house art style kind of artist, then there's something there for you.
We know there's a community who loves playing these games and loves interacting with the creators. To me, like having a YouTube channel just brings people a new way to like discover cool games. And that's the most important thing, right? One moment that just like really stands out for me was this E3 when we first showed like the first full-length Cuphead trailer. I knew what that game was, and I just knew everybody in the audience and all the millions of people who watched the briefing were about to be completely blown away. There's so many great independent games coming out right now. There's so much amazing content, and keeping track of it can be tricky. So getting to see videos that are highlighting, really cool games, special opportunities, you're going to be able to find your next favorite game. It's just a great way for people to find cool stuff. Yeah, I play too many games.
Over the last year, I've probably played about 90 ID Xbox games.
Oh, man. It's in the hundreds, I would imagine.
I've played about 150 games or so. I've completed less.
In the last year, I've probably played 3,000 to 5,000 games developed by independent devs. 3,000 to 5,000. Yes.
Donut County is just a favorite of mine. I love raccoons. Obviously, I wear a lot of black eye makeup, and I usually am wearing stripes and eating garbage, so the raccoon spoke to me.
Celeste stood out to me because it's just beautifully done. From the art to the soundtrack, it has incredibly tight controls.
What Remains of Edith Finch is this really beautifully crafted story of this young woman going back to her family's home, and it's done incredibly cinematically.
One of the unique features of Hollow Knight is definitely its art and animation style. It was all hand-drawn, hand-animated. It's incredibly captivating. I really love Hollow Knight.
More than 1,200 games have shipped through the ID at Xbox program to players.
ID at Xbox fans have tons to look forward to the next year. There's some awesome stuff coming.
We are super excited to be launching a YouTube channel for awesome independent games.
Let's make sure I'm actually unmute myself. So yeah, that is the ID at Xbox program. It is, as we heard there, saw the trailer, allows developers to make some amazing titles and release them digitally on Xbox. I know, Jer, you've said before that you're not a big ID at Xbox guy. Like, you don't necessarily play them. And
it would appear I stand corrected. Tom.
Yes, and that's the kind of point that I kind of wanted to make is you didn't think you played them, and then Rich made a very good point, and I was saying about some games that started off as an independent studio, and now they've grown so much. They're now kind of a fully fledged studio. It's games like No Man's Sky, Cuphead's like
Cuphead. I did not realize that was an ID at Xbox game. That game is the devil and also great, but the devil.
Yeah.
But that game has ruined more nights of mine. But it's a great game. I have.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's some amazing games in there that one you don't think are ID and don't think are independent, because I think a lot of people assume that an independent title means it's lower quality because they haven't got all the resources or the power or the money to be able to make the games that they want. But there are studios out there that only have one person in it, and that one person is making that game. I want to quickly quote Xbox here and say what the ID at Xbox program does for developers. And that is, the ID at Xbox program enables qualified game devs of all sizes to unleash their creativity. So Xbox help these developers, they work alongside them to enable them to make the game that they want to the best possible standard. And what they mean by qualified game developers is that you must have a studio registered and you must be part of that studio. Even if it's one person or a team of 100, you have to have a company and you have to have a studio in order to apply. And it's as simple as that. Like I say, it's as simple as that. Starting your own company is daunting and difficult, but if you can get there and you've got that passion to be able to do so, you can actually then design a digital game for. And most people assume it's just for Xbox, whereas you can actually do it for Windows 10 as well. And also, if you have an iOS or Android, so a mobile game, if you want to add Xbox Live functionality to that, you can also apply for the ID at Xbox program as well. And they'll help you add those Xbox Live features into your mobile game. It could already be created, but it means you want to get that done. And I just kind of want to get your guys' thought processes around like what the ID at Xbox program kind of means to you. Is, do you play them? Do you not? Do you like the idea, etc., etc., etc.? So yeah, feel free to jump in if you have any thoughts.
Sure. Before Joe, while he's distracted by that, whatever that is, that tweet or whatever. So I'll take advantage of the situation. So yeah, idea Xbox. I mean, I think we've both been around since the start of that program, right? For idea Xbox, and
yes,
I think if you're a agnostic gamer, you kind of really appreciate what Microsoft, what Xbox have done by bringing this program to the forefront. And the light bulb moment was definitely E3 with Cuphead, and it pushed Cuphead back because they suddenly went, oh, let's give this game some money. So, for that studio and stuff. But it's these little games that, stuff like the Cuphead wouldn't exist in the mainstream market without programs such like this and stuff. And yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a question later on. What's your favorite one and stuff like that? And I'm gonna.
It is very much a question for later on. Yes,
I'm gonna steal thunder and go. I don't really have one because I have my mainstream games. We talked about Gears a little bit ago and stuff. Yeah. But you kind of need a break from that to really kind of enjoy them. And what idea Xbox offers you is those more smaller games, those niche ones, to really kind of separate up and change your enjoyment and how you're enjoying it, enhance your enjoyment of the bigger titles. So
yeah, 100%. I just want to say hello to Derek, who's joined us over on Facebook. We are talking all things idea Xbox and what that platform gives and what it gives to both developers and to ourselves. You have missed the quickfire questions, so feel free to jump back when the stream ends to catch up on those.
Because that's what all they're here for.
Oh yeah, of course,
pretty much.
Of course. Idea Xbox platform. Rich, thank you very much. I think that you hit the nail on the head, especially with the broad spectrum of games. Definitely.
I would agree with Rich in terms of what he said. Hannah,
what he said.
I concur.
I concur. Move on. The one thing that Rich actually said there that probably I would say is the most on the nail thing is it's a breath from everything else. And I think that's a really great point that Rich has made. It's a chance to just take that little step back. And I think what you'll also see is a lot of the games that are being developed, they've mentioned like the single and double person studios that people are making these games, and they spend years and years making these games. They can kind of inspire the bigger studios to take a concept for a game that hadn't existed in the mainstream, because with the mainstream, you've got this thing of AAA titles. It's difficult to make a new one because what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
What if it's not successful? So you kind of reproduce the same formula. We talked about like franchises and that before. And I think these games give people a chance to look at it and go, as well, that one really worked and that was in the indie version. What if we turned that into a AAA title, or we took that concept of a game and made it into something bigger? And I think that these guys can actually inspire the bigger studios as well, which is brilliant. And there was another quote that was made in it where, as I you said there about lower quality, that the perception is these games are lower quality. And that nearly begs another question. What is lower quality, or what is quality? Because it might not look like a AAA title. It might not have the expansive world that a AAA title has, but the gameplay quality could be second to none. It could be off the chart. Like I said, Cuphead's a fantastic game. I forgot Hollow Knight was an indie game as well. That's a stunningly beautiful game. I want to ask: is Untitled Goose Game was that an indie game?
Yep.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was.
What a game! Yeah. I first saw that game being played. I saw the packaging. This is where perception comes in. I saw the package and I saw something with nah, not playing that. And then Hannah was streaming it one night, and I decided to watch it. I haven't laughed so much watching a stream. It was amazing, and I thought this game is wicked. And I started playing it. I downloaded it. I played it that night after watching someone streaming it. So that's the impact that these games can have. Like, you can look at them from the outside and go, I don't know if I'll play that game. And then you watch somebody else playing, you're like, oh my God, that looks really fun. And it was. And there's so many of them. So when it comes to quality, I don't think it's necessarily graphical power or expansive worlds. It's story and it's uniqueness. And I think there are two things that stand out with ID at Xbox games above everything else is they do have a heart and they do have a soul. In a world where a lot of AAA titles are probably losing their heart and soul, these games have that from their core, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head with it's not just about graphics; it's about gameplay, right?
Yeah,
and
story.
And then the other nail is: did you relate to the goose, and that's why you liked it so much?
Yeah, yeah. It's part of my day running around trying to grab stuff away from people, stealing things from people, running to my house with them.
All that goose needs now is a voiceover by Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
Before we get Hannah's points, I just want to point out that thank you very much to Derek Smith for dropping a host over on Twitch. It is very much appreciated. Guys, if you are watching on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, as that's the only places we're streaming to, so you're watching on one of them. If you could share this out, it would be hugely appreciated. Get more people watching, get more involvement in chat. It would be amazing if you could do so. So, Derek, thank you very much for hosting on Twitch. But yeah, guys, please feel free to host and follow us if you don't already.
If you're on the Tube or Facebook, like us. Click the like button. That matters a lot to us as well.
On the Tube? We're on the underground.
We're on the Tube, man. We're on the Tube. That boy looks good on the Tube.
Anyway, on that note, Hannah.
Hello. Greetings.
Idea Xbox for you, like.
I think everyone's kind of covered their main points. Untitled Goose Game is one of probably my favorite games that I've ever played in the world. And what I did is I put the Witcher soundtrack from Witcher 3 over the top, and it was just next level. If anyone wants to try it because it's amazing.
Definitely have to give it a go.
But I think what everyone said about it's people, isn't it? And so this is going to get really deep, but so many of us, we get closed off from society, we get closed off from everybody around us, and we sort of take ourselves into technology and entertainment, but we forget that everything that we enjoy watching and we enjoy playing is built and made by other human beings. They're exactly the same as us and feel the same way as we do and experience the same way as we do. And when you get a AAA title, and I am into AAAs, that's the experience that I usually go for. It's more based around, I guess, kind of like a business and how business works. Whereas when you get an independent title, it's so people focused, and you know that there's just it could be a whole team, it could be a few people, but it's people that are the same as you and want to show you something and want you to experience what they want you to experience. So there's all that thought gone behind it, and that's why there's a few titles that I'm really, really excited for. Which I don't know if I can talk about now, talk about later, that kind of draw you in with those stories and those experiences. And that's why I think I'm going to start playing more, because I have neglected independent titles. But saying that, there's so many that I've played that I didn't even know were idea Xbox titles, because you just, it's just hit. It's like, this game's really popular now. And then next week, this game's really popular now. This game's really popular now. But it's because it's tapping into everyone's kind of psychology and what people want. So,
yeah,
100%.
It's a nice thing.
Because like I said to Tom before I came on, if you ask me what my favorite title is, I'm going to be like, I don't play them. I've never played any of them. And in half an hour of this, I'm like, oh God, I've played loads.
Yep. It's and that's the great thing about the platform is, and we'll get more into kind of how we can get access to more of these in a bit. But I do want to rattle through a couple of things, because we are going to be running out of time pretty shortly. And going back to kind of, Rich has kind of touched on it already about kind of favorite games and stuff like that. And that Rich doesn't really have one because he plays kind of so many of them and they're all pretty good. I say pretty good. They're all amazing games. If it's the genre that you like, there are some games in there that you won't like. There are some games in there you'll absolutely love. But I kind of want a whistle stop tour. Say that 3 times when you're drunk. Of what your kind of favorite games are on the platform at the moment. Is there anything that you're really playing, or that you want to kind of shout out and want more people to play?
Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll reel off the games I got addicted to very, very quickly, and if you want to discuss them, you can if we've got time. So Rocket League, as you know, Tom, I was obsessed with Rocket League for the longest amount of time. Yeah, I know, right? Every week. What are you playing, Rich? Rocket League, yeah. Mm-hmm. Humans Fall Flat. You know, it was one of the most downloaded games.
Amazing game.
Addicted to it. World War Z. Because I loved finishing work and just going home and not having to think about story plot or anything, just shoot zombies and lots of them. West of Dead, as you know, because we did the stream on that as well, and you know, Tom chose me purely because he'd seen me playing it for like 10 hours solid or something like that. So Tabs, okay, so Tabs was a funny one because that was recommended to me by my son. So my son is on Game Pass, Idea Xbox, and he was like, Dad, you need to play this game. And I was like, I don't want to play it. He made me play it It was weird looking. I was like, I don't want to play that. And then proceeded to take the controller off of him, and he had to watch me then play for 3 or 4 hours on it. And I keep going back to it. I've downloaded it on my PC as well, so I can keep carrying on playing with it wherever I go. Streets of Rage purely because I wanted to, hand the gauntlet down to my son, so we completed that in a night between us. Of course, parenting,
Nice.
don't judge me. So yeah,
that's great parenting.
I think so too, Tom. Thank you very much. Just to name a few that I've just got. As I said, I don't have a favorite. I was addicted to them when I played them through. So
yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Any honorable mentions, Jer?
Well, I've just been surprised there by another one because I completely forgot about Humans Fall Flat. So that's a realistic reaction right there. Rocket League is brilliant. Absolutely outstanding. I would agree with that. On Hollow Knight, I just think it's beautiful. It's and I love hand-drawn games. I think there's so much, and there's a couple that were showcased in the Summer Game Fest, which I'm assuming you'll get to, that were are similar to that and hand-drawn as well. I think there's one that myself and Hannah spoke about before as well, which was done by a single-person studio as well, which looks amazing. So, yeah. Yeah, they're really good. I'm not going to pick out any one of them because I don't play them in huge amounts. But Cuphead has ruined my life on more occasions than I can. but I keep getting sucked back in and going, "No, I'm going to beat it this time. I'm going to beat it this time." Like, no, you're not. You're not.
Never.
It
that
won't
dragon.
let you.
That dragon still. I can't beat that dragon in the third world.
Yep, this is the hill you die on right here. Cuphead.
Hannah, are there any kind of mentionables you want to talk about?
Yes. Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing game. And it's always the quirky ones that I'm really into. Gang Beasts, another one. Amazing game.
So
Human Fall Flat. Untitled Goose Game. And things like Stranding Deep, I think, is one as well. That's like such a well-known title. But for me, Human Fall Flat, Gang Beasts, Goat Simulator, just the weird ones. I've had so much fun on Gang Beasts.
The weird and unusual ones.
Yeah,
and the great thing about them is
ones.
a lot of them are like kind of multiplayer, and it's all about collaboration with those type of titles. Like Untitled Goose Game is now co-op. You can now play 2-player Goose Game.
See, I didn't know that. Jer, where are you at?
You're making about games that inspire other games. Like you just said, Gang Beasts and Humans Fall Flat, and you look at Fall Guys, and you're like, there you go.
Yeah.
Don't tell me those games didn't inspire that game. They 100% did.
Sounds about
Jer,
right.
can we play an Untitled Goose Game together, please?
Yes, I'd love to.
Oh, good.
Say when. I'm in. Say when. Say when I'm in.
Cool.
Sorry.
That's fine. Your mouth moved, and I was like, his mic's gone. Oh, no, there's his voice.
It was your vision. It was your vision.
I was so excited. My voice was not catching up with my face. That's how excited I was there.
A few mentions from me. Probably my most played game of part of the Idea Xbox program is a game called Dead Cells. 2D side-scroller, procedurally generated dungeon crawler, which is exceptionally difficult. I've only beaten the game once, and then you start the whole thing all over again. So yeah, every time you die, you start the game again. Absolutely love it. Really quick, fast-paced gameplay. Is only single player, but really good to kind of kill half an hour type thing, in and out. Highly recommend that. And that game is fully released. However, there is a game which is in part of the game preview program as well. There's also part of Idea Xbox. A game called Ooblets.
Ooblets.
Heard of this. Haven't seen it, but I've heard of this.
Say Ooblets again, Tom.
Ooblets. Which is this is what you were talking about. Taking inspiration from other games. Ooblets has very much done that, in the fact that you have a farming simulator in there, which you could look at like Stardew Valley, which is another Idea Xbox game. Go retro, you look at kind of Harvest Moon and Dark Cloud and games like that. But then you have a creature capture mechanic as well, which has taken huge inspiration from games like Pokemon and stuff like that, in which you capture these weird animals. I can't really describe them, but they're like vegetables and animals and stuff like that. And you grow them in your garden, and they have dance battles to get experience. So it's not fighting. You actually like play cards to do dance moves. Yeah, it's really quirky, really cool. I love the art style.
Inside your head, you've just described in short You
Chaos.
kidnap vegetables and plant them to grow, who then dance off to survive.
Yeah, basically.
What kind of
There
fight
must be a
for
Hollywood
business?
movie in there somewhere.
I'm just gonna say.
The great thing about it is because it is part of game preview, you can download a 1 hour free trial and you can give it a go, see what you think, and then if you like it, you can then buy it. Which is exactly what I did. I saw it at EGX Res probably 3 years ago when it first got announced, and it was a very different game then. And then finally, it's kind of come into game preview. I've given it a download, played the hour, loved the hour, bought straight away. And it's a game that my wife Hannah loves watching me play. She's constantly asking me, when are you next playing Ooblets? Because she wants to watch me play it.
When you kidnap the vegetables, Tom.
Yes. So yeah, they're kind of my key games that I love from the program. But yeah, Jer mentioned earlier on as well about an event called Summer Game Fest. And Summer Game Fest was I think it's only just finished. I think it finished like end of August. Yeah. In which it was the world's or the game world's E3, because E3 couldn't actually happen. They turned it into a completely digital event, did loads of announcements and from all the different developers and producers and etc. And Xbox had their own week. So from the 21st to the 27th of July, Xbox did a couple of announcements, they did a couple of live streams, but they also gave us access to over 70 Idea Xbox demos. Some were pretty short, some were actually really long, but 70 titles that you could download on your Xbox and give a go purely from Idea Xbox developers. It wasn't a chance for them to showcase their AAA titles or anything like that. It was going, you know what, we have some amazing developers in this Idea Xbox program, and we want to showcase those games to us as the consumers. So yeah, they did an amazing thing by going, you know what, we normally allow people that attend E3 to play loads of games. So that's actually let everybody around the world play all of these titles. Are you guys demo players? Do you, if you have an option to give a game a go first, or if you're like, no, I know I'm going to like it, I'm just going to download it anyway?
I have a stack of demos on my Xbox regularly. At this time of the year, when they start to release the demos for the summer, the Christmas titles, I always tend to have 4 or 5 on the go. Yeah, 100% demo player.
For me, I'll demo at an event. If I'm at an event and the demo is there, I'll demo. But otherwise, that's because of all the hype and it's like really cool. But otherwise, I like this surprise. I like to just go into it when everybody else is like ready and the date's set and it's like, right, let's go.
100%.
Yeah, no, I used to demos, but not anymore. So I generally know what I want to play. And I think something like the Game Pass has probably taken away any kind of need for demos anyway. So
no, so that's very fair point. Very fair point. Hannah, go.
Just some good games that were announced at Summer Game Fest.
Okay, come on, Hannah. You've been bugging to talk about these.
I want to talk about Welcome to Elk. Welcome to Elk seems awesome from Triple Topping, and I mean, if you've not watched Tom's videos that he did over the week, where it was Xbox Week, they're really good, and he talks about loads of games. You should watch them.
Thank you, Hannah.
But you thought Welcome to Elk was good too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I really liked the art style and the fact that it was all true stories and all that sort of stuff. I thought
It's
it was
an island that you go to, and all the characters in there are based on real people, and their stories that they tell you are real stories from real people. And there's little mini games in there, and you can meet the people that told the original stories, and there's no Wi-Fi, and you just have to kind of deal with being there, and everything's black and white, but then sometimes there's a bit of color depending on the mood. It's just really, really cool. And if you sign up to the mailing letter, which I did, mailing letter, when they go, we're going to send you some things.
Yeah.
You can if you put your address on there, they'll send you a postcard with some drawings on. And I got the art director, Murray, wrote me a story and wrote some nice little drawings on there.
Do you have it to hand?
Denmark. No, because it's got my address on there, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to post a picture of it on my Instagram with it covered up.
Is that the one that was sent to you?
Yeah.
That's wicked. That's them.
It's really cool, yeah.
Oh, that's wicked. You showed me that like a week ago.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then Darkestville Castle as well. I'm really excited to play.
Yes. I downloaded that, ready to play the full game. Played the demo, loved it. But yeah, as Hannah did mention, we did do 5 days worth of content on our All Things Microsoft YouTube channel, where we reviewed a load of different titles. I think it was 20 different games that we took a look at.
4 days, wasn't it? For 5 days.
Yeah, 4 a day for 5 days. Did a little kind of before you buy, a little bit what about these games are. Rich very kindly helped me edit those videos. I didn't help me edit those. Him and Nigel edited these videos for me. So yes, thank you very much for Rich for that. But yeah, so there's 5 days worth of content on there. I'm getting there.
Hannah did something too.
I'm getting there.
Okay, sorry.
And for any of our retail pros, anyone that works in retail, we created some expert zone courses all around those as well, which if you hadn't guessed already, Hannah helped me create those. Salvatore wants a postcard from you, Joe.
Salvatore, you DM me, mate. Get on my Facebook or my Instagram, man. I will send you a postcard.
Just send postcards from the evangelist.
Handwritten in my own
like
personal
handwritten
sarcasm.
postcards.
It's a new service. Cool.
Look, you started, Salvatore. You've started something now. Look at it. Look at the thing.
From Hannah. But we are getting to the end of the show, unfortunately. But I do want to have a kind of a quick discussion, which we've pretty much already kind of spoken about through the conversations that we've having. Is that Idea Xbox and Game Pass partner together super well.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it gives us access to these games the day they're launched, and it showcases such a broader breadth of games that we wouldn't normally play. But because we have Game Pass, we have the access to play them and just give them a go. As I think it was Rich that said it a minute ago, that there's no point for demos anymore because of Game Pass. Did I get that right? Who was that? Rich that said that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was.
It's a valid point as well.
Yeah. And it showcases these amazing developers and gives these games access to millions of people that are on Game Pass. Like, what more could you want as a developer for millions of people to play your games?
Do you think these games that we've all listed today would have become as popular as they are without ID at Xbox?
I think it would have been a huge struggle for these developers to get it. To get to the popularity that they have now. I'm sure they could have done it, but the great thing that the Idea Xbox platform does is it does support them with development kits and help with marketing and all those bits and pieces, and publishes it on the Xbox store or the Windows 10 store and promotes them. So I think without that, without these developer companies paying loads of money to get that promotion, which they might not have, it's an amazing program that allows to show that. So I think eventually they could get there, but I think the Idea Xbox program could definitely accelerate that.
Great show from Games Guru there as well. 50%. That one there.
Overcooked too, and Overcooked. That's another one.
Yeah. Oh my God, the mileage we've got from Overcooked, even from co-streams and the 12-hour stream last year, which will probably get played again next year. But what's the game with the cakes, Tom?
Cake Bash.
Cake Bash.
Yes, with the pigeon.
I love that game.
French fancies.
Knock the sweets off
100%. And that's an Idea Xbox title, which we're hoping to do on a 12-hour stream later this year.
Have to do it on the 12-hour stream. It's the first game on the list now.
It should be good fun. But yeah, there are a huge amount of Idea Xbox titles available on Game Pass. So if you are a Game Pass subscriber, please go and take a look at them. Have a go. Let us know what you think. All of our Instagram handles are on the screen right now, each in our little squares. So yeah, take some photos, add to your stories, whatever it may be. Message us. Let us know what you think of the Idea Xbox program. What games are you playing? All of those bits and pieces. It will be hugely appreciated. And if you don't already, feel free to give us a follow over on there and engage with us over on our socials as well.
Come chat to us.
Yeah, come have a chat.
Beans.
So, are there any final thoughts from anybody that they want to talk about before we end?
That was the longest video cast we've ever done.
I don't know.
Also, what is the meaning of life?
43?
42, yeah.
Is it 42 or 43?
That was 42.
42?
Take that now.
42. No, if you're not playing Idea Xbox games, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? They're on Game Pass now, so you know, yeah, do it. Explore, have fun.
Can I rattle through our schedule for the week for anyone who's watching who wants to watch the rest of our content this week? Because there are some slight tweaks and changes.
Yes, feel free to do so. I will put the schedule up at the end as well, so it'll reiterate those bits and pieces.
So we've Easy live tomorrow night, which is going live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It is the penultimate week, I think, of back to school. Hannah, is it? Second last week?
Yeah.
Possibly. To be confirmed.
No, I think it is. It is because we've got 2 more.
And that's at 7 o'clock on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. If you want to be notified of when they go live, if you're on YouTube, hit the little bell icon to be notified for that, and hit like and subscribe. Wednesday night we have Level Up going out at the earlier time of 5 p.m. and that will be the time that it goes forward at for the next couple of weeks. That we're trialing something here to see if we can save people's lives and evenings, to give people back their evenings. So we're trialing something. So if you want to come watch us, again, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. The tube. And then Thursday, Easy Live Extra goes live exclusively on Facebook. That is for our RP, mostly just RP focused, and that is going out on Thursday. So if you're an RP and you want some cool demos, Thursday Expert Zone Extra is your place to be. And on Friday we have the second part of our podcast for In the Loop with Yellow Tuxedo, which talks about how they are providing tech and solutions for small companies to do it on their own, which I love. They're a great company. So we'll talk to them. That's it. That's our week. And then back here Monday for more of this.
Woo!
Cool.
Yeah, next week I think it's talking all about Obsidian titles, Obsidian games.
Yeah.
I think it's that one.
Yeah.
I bet the queue was long for people who wanted to get on that stream, wasn't it? The boss is on that, isn't he?
The boss is on that.
I knew he would be.
Was grounded.
But yeah, as we have probably overrun, it is our longest video cast we have done. Make sure you tune into everything that Jer said, and throughout the week I will put the schedule up as the holding close. And Hannah's going to keep waving. I'm going to keep talking to see how long she'll actually wait for. And we will see you next week, guys. So until then, ciao, ciao. Oh, come on, Jer.
Hang on. This is a shameless plug. Triple XI is in the comments. That's my nephew. He got his exam results today. He smashed it. I'm delighted for him. So well done, mate.
Yay! Woo!
Sorry, there you go.
Guys. Have a good time. Bye.